Hello, hello, welcome or welcome back. Let's sit back, relax, have a snack, and enjoy. Sit at My Grave, Season 4, Sanity or Salvation, Chapter 24. 3 plates? No one's here for the party yet. Really mentioned she finally sat down to eat, before putting another batch of test cupcakes into the oven. Did I place 3? Where's my mind? Verna replied, keeping a smirk off her face. Mom? Millie questioned, tilting her head. What do you know? She asked, pointing an accusing forehead at her. More than you, that's for sure, Verna teased back, barely holding back her chortle, seeing the dumbstruck look on her daughter's face. Verna opened her mouth to speak again, but noticed a shift in Riley's expression. Gone was the humorous shock. Its replacement was a pure look of bewilderment. Eyes huge, jaw slacked. Her movements became a shaky type of rigid, once she'd finally gained control of her body. Verna didn't have to turn her head to know. She removed herself from her seat regardless, giving them some room, and herself a spot to view it. A harsh inhale interrupted the silence. Riley had managed to stand to her feet. Her stare was unwavering, while her parallel couldn't find the power to look up. His shoulders were slumped, hands fidgeting in his pockets, gaze forced to the floor's chipped tiling. The smile on Verna's face slowly faded, her features reflecting the tensity that began to grow. She wanted to blurt out something, anything, give them an avenue to fix things, but it wasn't her space. Brinley had sabotaged plenty in her life from a young age. Harsh lessons of the recent years had now demanded more of her, just to stay afloat. And by the look of her grandson when he'd arrived, as well as his body's tone in this moment, it looked like the world had taught him too. It was up to them to handle it now. Telling them how just wasn't what they needed. In their time, Brinley and Arden's eyes met. It was a painful jolt, yet neither dared to move. Riley's vision of her youngest child blurred. Arden's gaze was softened. In the quickness of a blink, vulnerability showed. Thoughts of the past tumbled out. At his brother's funeral, he couldn't help but wonder, watching her sob and fall apart. Did Riley have that much love for him? It was fleeting, but after learning more of the Atlas history, it was a very real fear. After all, Reed had earned his spot in her heart, and if she cared for him, Arden knew, leaving like that must have broken it. The approach and engulf made him stumble on his feet. Her shaky fingers were in his hair, patting him like he was gentle silk, 1 second away from ripping. His senses were overwhelmed, the fears for his home life, for the things beyond his understanding. It paused for a while. Despite his growth, he was a child in his mother's arms. My baby. My baby. Riley rasped out softly. Warm tears were snuggled into Arden, a strong embrace from a weakened woman. Arden held her back. In moments, it almost felt like he was holding her up completely, as her voice crumbled. She wept gently, her own fears and relief releasing into that hold. Verna watched from afar, but eventually made her way out, after offering Arden a reassuring look. Arden felt as Brinley's sobs start to quiet down, eventually reducing into sniffs and deep breathing. She calmed herself. They finally were apart, but Brinley didn't take her eyes off of him. Her lashes wet and her face reddened. Mom, were Arden's first words. You're safe. Oh my God, you're safe. Brinley's voice came out pathetically, wiping her face, before softly putting her hands on his arm. I'm sorry. The question was gone, but the guilt was a harsh scrape into his dwindling ego. Sorry for leaving. Sorry for not listening. Sorry for making things harder than they had to be. Sorry for causing this. Sorry for ripping the person, keeping it all together away. But most of all, sorry it wasn't over. The words weren't easy, and the action following it would be far from impactful. Someday, maybe he'd actually sit and really make things right. But not now. His "I'm sorry" lingered in the air as he allowed them to be connected for at least a moment. Both agreeing, regardless of how they expressed it, there was a gentle joy finally having pieces of their family together again. Arden didn't expect this warmth after coming out of his grandma's room. He had a hard time believing it was real, even while he embraced his mother again. This didn't erase what happened up there. His neck was still sore, and his life was very possibly in danger, and by extension, so was his family. Did that monster exist in his reality? Did it take him away into its own? He remembered Jazia mentioning there was a certain time where the world of the living and the spirit's veil was very thin. It helped with their communication greatly before he got this mark. Months ago, that was an exciting thing to learn. He'd always been intrigued with how to communicate with things beyond him. Now, he wondered with less enthusiasm. What could be watching? What else had access into his or anyone else's flesh?